up. It's Steve from that old Yorkshire geek, and it's Monday, which means it's the Last of Us Day review of the HBO series, not the game. I'd actually forgotten about it. I only realised when I think I saw something on YouTube. I think I saw somebody's review. I didn't see it, but I saw the box. I thought, oh, I haven't watched The Last of Us. I better get round to that. So I've watched it, episode 6 of season 1. It's called Kin, and as I suspected when I said last week, we catch up with Tommy. So there we go. Directed by somebody with a name I have no chance of pronouncing. So I'll see if I can remember and put it in the there. Jasmila Zbanic. I have no idea. I don't know what else this person's done. It is a woman. I thought it might be a woman, but a Bosnian film director, screenwriter, producer best known for having written and directed Quo Vadis Ada 2020, which earned her nominations for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, the BAFTA Award for Best Film Not in the English Language. Oh, there we go. So there you go. I think it's the only episode this season that she, well, I presume this is a she, that let's have a look. Make sure we get this right. I don't know. I presume they are a she. Jasmila Zbanic. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I could be wrong. Yes, a she. It says in the Wikipedia thing, she got a degree there. Because you've got to be careful these days, haven't you? Anyway, it's a decent episode. I did quite enjoy it, and but I've got to admit, I still don't like Ellie. I've not liked Ellie from the beginning. I don't know if it's the way the character's portrayed, or if it's Bella Ramsey's portrayal. When I say portrayal, I mean written, or Bella Ramsey's portrayal. I don't know, but I just don't like her. But at the end, I did feel a little bit sorry for her at the end of this episode. So let's just get into it, and we'll see what appertains, shall we? By the way, nice. Last of Us. Hang on, me microphone wires playing silly buggers. Last of Us screensaver there. Nice, isn't it? It actually plays music, but I can't do that, obviously. Right, let's get it up. As I said, this is episode 6. It's called Kin. Where have I put the bloody thing? And it starts off with a little recap of what happened with Henry and Sam last week. After the credits, of course. There they are. There are the credits. What's the skip gonna do? It's frame skipping again, isn't it? Right. Anyway, so. There you go, The Last of Us, and then we start there. We go with Henry and Sam. Remember, Henry had just shot Sam because Sam, were infected and attacked Ellie. So Henry shot him, and then Henry shoots himself. And then we cut to blank screen. It shows him shoot himself, and everybody's going no. And cut to a blank screen, and then we have a passage of time. There we go. We see a snowy landscape. There we go. Can you see that? Oh, typical. There we go. 3 months later. 3 months later, we have a passage of time, and I think they finally got to Wyoming. I kept saying in the previous episode they're going to Montana. I don't know why. I kept saying they're going to Montana, but it was Wyoming. Yes. Because I'm an idiot, basically. I don't pay attention. Anyway, so we start off with this. Somebody here has caught some rabbits. To be honest, I thought this was Joel. But it's not. There you go, directed by Jasmila Zbanic. Anyway, this chap comes along, hangs these rabbits outside, and goes in. And we see a lady there, a rather well-fed lady, I must admit. Maybe she's just naturally big-boned, as they say around here. But then we see this chap, and we see it's Graham Greene. Am I getting that right? Probably not. I better check, Anta. I'm sure it's... let's have a look in the cast list. Yes, Graham Greene, all right. Oh, crikey. Right, yes, Graham Greene, who you may know, because I know him from... I've seen him in other things, but I know him. You know him mainly from Dances with Wolves. He played the chief of the tribe that befriends Kevin Costner's character. So anyway, so there he is. And he's there with his, I presume it's his wife. Yes, Florence is her name. I don't know if we actually learn the name, but this is Marlon, by the way. I don't know if the names were actually said in the episode, but according to the cast list, that's what they're called. Anyway, Joel and Ellie are already there. We find out that he's got his gun on him as Joel, but Elaine says he's not hurt him. She's made him some soup. Here he is, he's telling Marlon to put the gun, to one side, out of reach, because you got to be careful, in this post-apocalyptic world. Anyway, so obviously they don't trust each other, but Elaine seems, kind of calm. She's just sitting there in the chair. If I ever bloody land on her. There she is, you can see in the background. See if I can find her. I say she's very chill. Come on. Oh, for God's sake. She's always in the background. But she isn't. Anyway, they both look rather well fed. They must be eating a lot of those rabbits. That's all I can say. Or maybe they've stocked up on chocolate or something, I don't know. There she is. So anyway, Joel asks him if he says he's looking for his brother, and asks him, if they've seen him, and they say no. He says, I haven't even described him to you. He says, does he look like you? He said, yeah, a bit. He said, no, I haven't seen him. So he tells him his name. You ever heard, Tommy? He said, no. And then they talk about the River of Death, because they look at a map. And they said, what's beyond this river? And he said, death. Don't go that way, And they said, what's there? They don't know, but they've seen the bodies that whatever's there is left behind. We learn later that these are fallen foul for some reason. We don't know what, of some people that we meet later on. And we don't know what they've done. I mean, they seem a decent couple, I suppose, but I don't know. They're just... I don't know what they've done. But, so they're out in their cabin. Anyway, Joel and Ellie set off out. So obviously they know nothing. They warn them not to go, across the river. He says he's heading west. What do you suggest? And Marlon says, head east. But obviously they can't, because they've got to get to the fireflies that are going to sort out a cure from Ellie's blood. So anyway, they set off. Ellie steals a rabbit, one of Marlon's rabbits. Oh, there's a deer hung up. So they're feasting on deer and rabbits and keeping themselves plump. Anyway, they set off. Anyway, Joel has a little episode here, as we'll see. There he is. I thought we were having a heart attack. I think he might be, actually. He might have a heart murmur or something like that. It looks like something. They're building up to something like that. But then by the end of the episode, that's kind of moot because something else happens. Anyway, he says he's all right. So they carry on. And carry on for another 5 days. Oh, no, that's later on. I'm lying. So they carry on, heading off across the countryside and camping. And I think Ellie's watching some... she's watching the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights. Anyway, she lets Joel falls asleep. They're talking about stuff, She wants to learn to hunt and all that stuff, but Joel won't teach her, and he won't teach her to shoot with the rifle for whatever reason. She's asking, if things ever do get back to normal, what will you do? Where will you go? And he says he wants a ranch. He wants a ranch, and he's going to have sheep, because sheep do as they're told. And I think Ellie wants to go to the moon, basically, because she said she was brought up in the the quarantine zone, and she had sea on one side and a wall on the other. All she could do was look up. So I think that's what she's alluding to. Because she's talking about astronauts then, and she talks about, she was fascinated by them, the astronauts that went to the moon. And she said, my favourite astronaut was? And Joel says straight away, Sally Ride, who was a shuttle astronaut. I think was she the first American woman in space? I think she was. I could be wrong, but I think she was. And she said, yeah. And I thought, well, she didn't go to the moon. She was went to put space shuttle. But never mind. I better check that, Hunter. Let me look up Sally Ride. Make sure I'm getting my facts right. Sally Ride, there she is. Well, yes, first American woman in space, and first American woman and the third woman in space. After cosmonauts Valentina Tereshkova in 1963, so that's another thing the Russians won, and Svetlana Savitskaya in 1982, and then it was Sally Ride. So there were 3 women into space. Up to that point, obviously many more since. So that's what she's going on about, astronauts and Sally Ride. But don't mention Valentina Tereshkova, who were the first woman in space. Anyway, so the next morning, here we go. Joel wakes up and he sees that Ellie's already awake, and he says, you should have woke me. He'd obviously nodded off, and she said, I woke up early, so you were asleep, so I took second watch, and she did everything right. They're all okay. And so Joel, he kind of berates her, but then he nods and he says, okay, you did well, but next time wake me up. So they set off again. Here they go. They get to the river. They cross it. There's no death happening. Then they get to another river later, and that turns out, I think, to be the River of Death, but they get to that soon. They get to a hydroelectric dam. Lovely scenery, by the way. Lovely scenery. Here we go. They get to this it's a hydroelectric dam, which is still operational, apparently. I don't know who's doing the maintenance on all the machinery inside. Well, I do, but, you'd think it'd take a lot of maintenance, wouldn't you? They don't last forever, does it, machinery? But we'll see. Right, so off they go. And then I think next thing is they get captured. He's checking his map. Oh, here we go. You just see him there, I think. They're tops of trees, maybe. I don't know. Yes, no, they are, yes. People on horses arrive. And they get surrounded. And Joel says, we're just passing through. But they've all got the guns aimed at them, and they bring a dog out, 'cause apparently this dog can sniff out the infected. So it's a bit like Terminators, isn't it? So they get the dog out. It sniffs Joel, and it's all right with him. And then it goes to Ellie. And Joel's like, oh, God, because remember, she's been bitten. She's technically infected, but she's not, succumbing to it, is she? She's immune to the fungus. But, luckily, after a little bit of tension, the dog's okay. The dog's fine with Ellie. And we're going to see that bit here. And she has a little, never mind. And she has a little roll about with the dog. But anyway. By the way, I want to see here, see if there's a bit of mist when they all arrive on these horses. See if we see them all. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. There's the dog being nice with them.
Let's talk.
It says if you are infected, it'll rip you apart. Don't dogs get infected either? They mustn't do. I don't know. Come on, I want to see all these people arriving. There's a reason I want to see them arriving. Right. So they're all arriving here, look. They're all, each one on a horse. I don't see any spare horses, do you? Nope. Everybody's on a horse. There's no riderless horses that I can see. But anyway, so they come to the... to mute it. all these people, they arrive here at this settlement. It's a walled-off settlement. They all ride in, and we see Joel and Elliot have got a horse each. So where did they come from? It's somebody walking back. Must be. I was expecting to see them, sharing a horse with somebody, but no, they've got a horse each. So I don't know what happened there. Don't know. Did they just magic up 2 horses? They must have done. Maybe they had them tied to a hitching post somewhere, just in case they came across 2 people in the wilderness. But never mind, don't really matter. Anyway, so they arrive here, because obviously they're not infected, so they bring them into the town. I don't know if it's got a name. Has it got a name, this town? Let's have a look. It's Jackson, Wyoming. There we go. That's what it's called. I should know, because actually there's a thing that says Jackson School. So, yeah, I should have guessed that. Anyway, this is, he sees Tommy, and he shouts out, Tommy! And so they have a lovely reunion. Big hugs, there you go. And I did get a bit, a bit man lip quivering, manly stuff, hugging. So they found each other. As I said, they probably would last episode, with this episode being called Kin. I said, they're going to find Tommy. So there's that. And then they're having some nice food. Looks like a nice stew, which I've had today. Not theirs, my own. Polished that off today, and it was grand. So they're having some stew. Ellie's being all foul-mouthed, so Joel's apologising. Here, this is Maria. So let me move that over a little bit. Not to get Maria out of shot, just to centralise it a little bit more. This is Maria, played by Rettina Wesley, who you might know from True Blood. She played Tara in True Blood, among other things, but that's what I know her from. So they're doing that, and we find out that Maria's married to Tommy. So they end up holding hands, and she's expecting Tommy's baby. So there we go. So she's family now, but Joel doesn't seem over-enthused by it, because he's still, even though it's been like 20 years, he's still hurting from the loss of his own daughter. There you go, Jackson. Welcome to Jackson. I tell you, I'm unobservant. Anyway, it must be Christmas. There's a big Christmas tree there. It's a nice little settlement they've got, and it turns out it's a commune. So they mention communists, and there's Joel does the side eye to Tommy, but it's it's not like the Soviet Union, not them sort of communists. It's a collective where they share things. That's what it is. It's not like the Red State or anything like that. As far as we know, we don't know. We're not here for long, but it seems okay. Anyway, they put him in a house. They're going to give him a tour. So they show him round, and then there's an empty house for him, number 38. So they go and see to this. This is where she's telling me that they are, we're communists. She's joking, obviously. And they show him a horse, a new foal that's been born. So Ellie likes the baby horse. And then she takes Ellie to this house that they've given them to get cleaned up, some clean clothes and stuff. While Joel and Tommy go and catch up. So they end up in the bar, as we'll see. There they are, in a bar. Down in, I think it's moonshine. From the look on Joel's face, I think it's stuff they make themselves. So they're having that. Sueli tells him that she's pregnant, and they end up having a bit of a falling out because in the past they've actually not been nice people. They've killed a lot, and Joel's hurting because Tommy didn't get in touch with him. He didn't get him on the radio, and apparently that's because they're not allowed. They don't use the radios in this place, because they don't want people to know about it. Basically, they don't want raiders coming and attacking them. So Joel's a bit sore about that. Anyway, so Joel, that kind of storms out, sort of, and he has another little, there we go. He has another little episode here. Look, oh, and he holds his chest, and then he thinks he sees his daughter from behind, Sarah. And I'd forgot actually. I keep thinking of the game, his daughter with blonde hair and stuff. But obviously in this, she was, mixed race, wasn't she? With dark curly hair, and he thinks he sees her, but it turns out it's not to be her, obviously. Then what happens? There he is having a little episode. Ellie's been in the shower. Some clean clothes have been left out for her, and one of them, but I don't know what it's for. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. There's a leaflet as well. Just women that are, if any women are watching, just explain it, because I'm not into these things. She says it's gross anyway. So she goes over the road. There's a little note saying I'm over the road or across the street or whatever. So she goes there. This is obviously Maria's house, and but Maria's not in. But Maria comes in. She's got a coat for Ellie, and then she says she's going to cut Ellie's hair. So she trims Ellie's hair. But Ellie's still been a bit foul-mouthed and stuff. Like I said, I don't like her. I don't. I'm sorry. And she might be saving the world and stuff, but I just don't like her. She was okay in the game, but for some reason this portrayal just doesn't do it for me. Sorry, Bella. Then what? We found out that she used to be like a lawyer, or so in the legal profession before the world ended. But now she's a member of the council of Jackson, Wyoming. Democratically voted. Anyway, they're going to the movies, so they're watching a film. I've no idea what it is. I've no idea. I suppose other people will know, but I don't know what it is. So they're watching that, and then she sees Tommy go out. She's talking with Maria. She sees him go out, and then I think she follows him, but we don't actually see her follow him. I don't think we do anyway. Then we go to Joel. He's in like a cobbler's. Is that what they call them in America? Call them cobblers here. Shoemaker. He's trying to mend his boots, but he can't do it. And I think he's having problems with his. I think he's having heart issues. Because they say it goes down your arm, don't they? And we see him holding his hand. Oh, you can't see him. He's holding his hand like that. I'll see if I can land on it. So I think he's having problems. There you go. We see him sat like that. And Tommy comes in. And they have a little heart-to-heart. He's brought him some new boots, by the way. There you go. There he was looking like that. I don't know if he just hurt his hand, maybe using the thing to try and mend his boots, or if he is having problems. I don't know, but I suspect he's having some heart problems. But that's the least of his worries. Anyway, so Joel, he kind of lets it all spill out. He spills his guts to his brother. The makeup, after their little falling out earlier on, the makeup. And he kind of spills his guts about and tells him all about what happened to Tess and how she was beaten and sacrificed herself so they could get away. Made him promise to get Ellie to the Fireflies and in Wyoming. And he says he's terrified. He says he's terrified of failing her. And he said, she saved his life because he was too old and too slow and too deaf to hear this person. You remember the episode where she shot that lad in the back? That were trying to throttle him. And so he's terrified. So he wants Tommy to take her to the university. Apparently there's a university in wherever it is, in the next city or whatever it is. I don't know what it is. He wants Tommy to take her because he thinks he'll get her killed because he don't think he's up to it. So Tommy says, "Yeah, all right, I will then." Yeah, he says, it's doable. It's dangerous, but people have been and come back, and everybody that's been has come back. So oh, there we go. There we see she had followed him, and she was listening. So Tommy says yes, he'll do that. He'll set off with her in the morning. So Joel heads back home, where the house that they've given him. He's pointing it out. Left, and whatever. Number 38. So Joel goes to see Ellie, and Ellie's sat reading. There we go. And she tells him that she'd overheard, that he's ditching her. And so she's not happy about it. And he says, it's for your own good. It's doing what's best for you. And so she said, so she's angry because obviously she's got feelings for Joel, because they've been together now over 3 months, haven't they? Going across the country. And he has obviously got feelings for her now. This is actually the closest they've been in this series so far. All the way up, you were thinking that Joel don't really care about her. But obviously 3 months have passed now. And obviously there is a bond between them. And this is the first time we actually see it, in my opinion. But he says it's for your own good, so he goes out. And then next morning, we see Joel having a little sit on his bed and thinking about his daughter. And next morning, Ellie and Tommy head to the stables because they're going to ride a horse out of there. Oh, there she's waiting for Tommy to come. They head to the stables, and who do they find already there with a horse? Joel. And he said he actually thought about stealing the horse and buggering off. But then he changed his mind. He said that was 30 minutes ago. And he says Ellie deserves a choice. So it's her choice. Does she go with Joel or does she go with Tommy? And so she throws a bag at Joel and says, let's go. So she's going with Joel. And Tommy says, okay. And he tells him there's always a place for you here. And Joel says, count on it. So he's saying once they've done there at the university, they're going to come back to Jackson. And that's where they're going to make their home by the look of it. Because it's a safe place and it looks quite nice. So they set off across the wasteland of Wyoming. It's actually very, very beautiful, isn't it? But they set off when they're ready. There we go. Along the way, Joel tries to teach her to use the rifle. This is Tommy's rifle, by the way. He tries to teach her, but she can't shoot straight. And so Joel shows her, and she's saying the rifle it doesn't aim straight. But he shoots straight. And I was actually surprised. I thought he was going to say, "Yeah, you're right. It doesn't shoot straight, but it does. Just she doesn't shoot straight." So that was nice, showing that she's not amazing at everything. So they carry on. Anyway, apparently it's 5 days it takes them to get to the interstate, which leads into the city, leads them to the university. I don't know where the university is though. Does it say? Does it say in the? Utah. Oh no, that's wrong. No. Oh, Colorado. They've gone to Colorado on horseback, and then when they get there, they find that everybody's buggered off to Utah. Salt Lake City, I think they've gone to, but we get to that. So here we are, more nice scenery. They're talking about stuff. He's telling her all about what he did before, the fall. Is that what they call it? I don't know. But before the apocalypse. He says, he was a contractor. He built stuff. He built houses and shops and stuff. So there we go. Anyway, they get there. They get to Colorado. I don't know. What is it? The home of the Bighorns. So what city is home of the Bighorns? I don't know what's in Colorado. I know Denver. Denver's in Colorado, isn't it? What else is in there? Thingy. Where Cheyenne Mountain, where the Stargate is. That's in Colorado, isn't it? What's the name of the city now? That's near it. I can't remember. Anyway, they're somewhere in Colorado. Here they are. They're at the university / hospital, whatever it is. I don't know where it is, but they're there. Well, they get there. and they find a guard post. They find a sign first that's got the firefly symbol on, so they follow that. Here we go. And they get inside. They find a guard post that's unmanned, so it's not guarded. So they think something's up for a start. There seems to be nobody about. So anyway, they get to the guard post in a moment. They've gone too far now. They tie up the horse and they get the side arms out and they head inside this whatever it is, hospital, university hospital, I don't know. There's obviously nobody about. They hear a noise upstairs, so they're going to investigate. By the way, they'd seen some monkeys earlier on, and I thought we were going to get that scene from the game, where they find the zoo and the giraffes and stuff like that. I thought we were going to get that, but we don't. We just see some monkeys, which I presume are CG monkeys, but they look quite good. And they hear a noise upstairs, they go to investigate, and turns out it was just monkeys in there as well, making noises. Luckily, they're making noises in a room where there's a big map telling us where everybody's gone. So maybe Ellie were right, and she said maybe they'd researched so much they had actually turned into monkeys. So here we go, and it turns out all the dots are there, the green dots, red dots, blue dots, whatever dots, all pointing to Salt Lake City. Is it going to show us a close-up? I think it says it is Salt Lake City. I could see it from there. There we go. Show us a close-up. There we go. They're all going to Salt Lake City. So where are they? They're in Colorado now, aren't they? What's in Colorado? Boulder, that's in Colorado, isn't it? What else is there? Cheyenne, is that in Colorado? I couldn't tell you. Or is that Wyoming? No, that's just in Wyoming, that, isn't it? Boulder, Denver. What else? I don't know. But yeah, I think the Stargate, that's in Colorado, isn't it? Stargate Command. Anyway, they hear a commotion outside where they hear voices, and they look out and they see some scruffy looking men go past. So they think, right, we got about the back door. So they find the back door. Luckily their horse is hitched right by the back door. So they get to they go to the horse, and then a man runs at them and attacks them. So Joel, so like, they have a Joel gets him round the neck and actually breaks his neck. That's Ellie. She's pointing a gun, but obviously she can't shoot. And hang on, gone too far. Oh, there you go. That's him. He breaks his neck and throws him to the ground. I actually thought he was still alive where he landed there, but you heard a crunch. I presume he's dead. And he turns around and looks at Ellie, and Ellie looks at him, and then she looks down, and it turns out he's being stabbed. There you go. Got a nice bit of wood stuck in his gut. And anyway, he just pulls it out. I thought, oh, idiot, you don't do that, do you? Because as soon as he pulled it out, all blood started spraying out. So you leave it in, don't you, if you're not sure? Says me, the expert. Anyway, pulls it out and then goes, oh, crikey. And then the others arrive, they all come running. Luckily, they haven't got guns. Thank goodness. Must be the only Americans in an apocalypse that haven't got guns. Anyway, they get on the horse and they gallop out there. She's shooting to cover them. Anyway, they get away. Here we go. They get away and they're on a railway track. So there's blood all over Joel's hands. And Ellie says, they're not following us, I think we've got away. And then Joel falls off the horse. There we go. Falls off the horse, luckily onto a nice big bit of snow. And there he is, and he doesn't look well. So Ellie's all scared. She's saying, Joel, don't leave me, don't die, swearing. Obviously swearing. I can't do it without you. But he's bleeding out. And he won't open his eyes. And she's saying, open your eyes, Joel. And she's saying, Joel, don't go. And now we're getting a little bit emotional, actually, with that bit. That's the best bit that she's ever said, because there's a bit of emotion there. And that's where the episode ends. as we'll see. Oh, there we go. We see her looking. Her eyes are filling up. And she says, "Don't go." And we cut to black. There we go. So that's the end of that episode. And it was very good. I quite enjoyed it. I don't know if it was the best one so far, but it was pretty good. As I said, but I still don't like Ellie. Apart from that very last bit, I did feel a bit sorry for her. But I did enjoy the episode. It was nice that they got to Tommy, and it was actually nice that they seemed to have found somewhere that they could settle in. And, they seem like decent people there. That'll probably change. But we'll see. Next episode next week is called Left Behind. Don't know what happens there. I'm worried now that we're getting to the bit in the game. There's a part in the game, quite near the end, I think, where Joel, I don't know if he got injured or got sick. I can't actually remember. But it was my least favourite part of the game because I hated it. Because they were in a cabin and Ellie were looking after Joel with his illness or injury or whatever. I can't remember. It's that long since I played it. And loads of baddies attacked. And you have to keep running around the cabin, to keep them off. And I hate stuff like that because I can't do it. But I did it eventually. But I'm wondering if we're going to get that. Are we going to get that happening where she's got to protect Joel? Maybe she'll sew him up. I don't know. But she's got to protect Joel until help arrives. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Tommy will set off after him. Like feel guilty that he's sent him off, and he's set off after him, and he'll arrive after a day or so, maybe, of Ellie looking after Joel. I don't know. I'm just guessing. What's going to happen next week? But I'm sure Joel will survive until season 2 when he gets his head bashed in with a golf club or something. I don't know what that's if they're going to do that. But anyway. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that episode. I can't remember the scores I've given them before. But this one, it was a solid episode, and I quite enjoyed it. I'd give it an 8. I'd give this one an 8 out of 10. Worth a watch. Nice passage of time. It showed, because remember they were essentially on foot, walking across a continent on foot. So at least they told us, it took 3 months for them to get to Wyoming from Kansas City. Kansas City, Missouri. People talking about Kansas Karen. Kansas is a state. Kansas City is a city that's not in Kansas. Sorry, just showing off. Anyway, so there we go. So I look forward to next week. 3 episodes left. We've got Left Behind. It's episode 7. Episode 8, When We Are in Need. And I don't know what the last episode's called. It says to be announced. So maybe they can't tell us the title of it because it'll give away something. I don't know. But maybe. That's according to Wikipedia anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. As I said, an enjoyable episode. I think it's the closest we've seen Joel and Ellie. But they've been together now for 3 months. But they did portray it well. We did get the feeling that they did like each other now, and they were close, and they were like family now. And Joel will do anything for her. So there we go. But now it's up to Ellie to protect Joel, I think. I think that's what's going to happen next week. Ellie's going to be the protector while Joel heals. Or whatever. Maybe he's dead. I don't know. Maybe that's what it means in Left Behind in next week's episode. They're going to leave Joel behind. I doubt it very much, but we'll see. Right, so we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are in the universe, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.